Hey guys, so I wanted to film a tutorial on this makeup look. I was wearing it in my October favorites video, so let's just jump right into it. So I started off with the brows, and the first thing I did was combed the brow hairs with this little Anastasia brush. And then I used the angled side of the brush in this blonde / taupe brow powder to fill in any sparse spaces in my brows. And then to make sure that everything is nice and neat, I use this Anastasia blonde tinted brow gel, and I put it right over the brows just to keep all the hairs nice and neat and in place. And then because I wanted dramatic brows for this look, I took a little bit of my MAC Dipdown, which is a gel liner, and a small angle brush, and I basically underlined my brows. And I start off sort of in the middle of the brow, and I'm using a medium pressure on the brush and then drag it all the way back to the tail of the brow. And then when I'm underlining the front of the brow, I'm using a really light pressure because I don't want the line to be too dark at the front of the brow. Next, I used a little bit of this Pro Longwear concealer and a small flat brush to carve out the bottom of the brows, and this is going to give you that really sharp defined line. I know these brows are sort of controversial, like some people like them, some people don't. Either way, they're like a huge trend in makeup right now. And then once I'm done carving out the brow, with the same brush, I take a little bit more of the concealer and I just spread it onto the lid as my eyeshadow base. Okay, so next we're going to start the eyeshadow. I'm starting off by highlighting the brow bone with MAC Gesso shadow and a flat brush. So for the transition shade, I'm using this warm brown shadow from the Anastasia Lavish palette. Saddle from MAC is really similar to this. And I'm using this loose MAC 224 brush. It's a loose fluffy brush. And I'm just spreading it all into the upper crease area and getting it nice and smooth. Next, for the crease area, I'm using MAC Corduory shadow and a 217 brush. And if you notice, I'm really only dipping the brush into the shadow maybe once or twice. And you don't, after you first start blending it, you don't want to dip the brush back in to add more product until it's nice and smooth. Because basically if it's not smooth and you just keep adding more shadow, it's going to keep gathering in those same spots and it's going to look blotchy. Then for the lid, I'm going to be using this eyeshadow called Cream from the Anastasia Lavish palette, and I'm using a flat brush. And if you notice, I'm just packing it on really lightly onto the lid and carving out that lid so it's a nice and defined, clean line. Okay, so next we're going to add the winged liner, and I like to do the winged liner before I add the black shadow because I kind of use it as a starting point. So what I'm doing is I'm building the wing up first in just one straight line up, and I'm taking this wing higher than I normally do, and then all I do is fill in the lash line and then just build the wing up, dragging it back and connecting it to the lid. And I'm using, of course, my favorite NYC liner. I love it. It's easy to use, and the best part about it is it's only $2.99. Okay, so now for the most important part of the cut crease is adding the black carbon shadow. And I'm using this small blending brush, and basically I'm adding a teeny tiny amount of carbon little by little, and I'm connecting it where my crease hits the wing. You want to be so careful. You can see that I went to apply the shadow and saw that I had actually too much product on the brush, so I wiped it off before going back in. So I'm really only using the very tip of the edge with a really light touch, and I'm just dragging it over into the crease, and then I'm also dragging it up so that it fades into the corduroy shadow. So up until this point, I still haven't dipped the brush back into the shadow, but I'm just gonna darken it in the corner because that's where I want it to be the very darkest, and then I'm gonna drag it all the way over. And I tried to be very minimal about editing this clip down because this is the most important part, and it's a little bit, you have to have patience, but I just wanted to show you guys exactly how I do it. Next, I'm going to brighten up the under eyes. First, I'm applying this concealer from Motives Cosmetics, and this is the Color Perfection Quad in Light, and I'm just actually dragging it up against the wing so it's going to create that nice clean line. And then I'm taking this Forever Maryland Beauty Powder, and I'm just going to apply it right underneath the eyes and down on the cheeks. Okay, so next I'm taking a little bit of this Gesso shadow and a flat brush, and I'm just going to pack it right around the tear duct areas of the eyes. And the reason why I do this last or after the under eye concealer is because I want it to kind of fade into the under eyes, and if I were to do the concealer after this, it would cover some of the white up. So that's why I do it last. And I'm really packing it on there strong, and I want it to be nice and bright. For our bottom liner, I'm going to be using this Anastasia Beverly Hills Covet waterproof liner in Lavish. And using a brown eyeliner when you're going to be wearing a bright colored lip is a great way to still have your eyes be defined but not too heavy and too much. And then I always like a really soft blended under eye. So I took this small brush from Motives and I mixed these two shadows from the Lavish palette, and I just shaded it nice and soft underneath the bottom lash line. And before I apply my false lashes, I'm just going to put on a little bit of this Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, and the brush is a little bit dry, which I actually like because it really separates the lashes and makes them thicker. But the trick is that you have to spend a little bit more time putting a few coats on so that you get that nice big voluminous look. Next, I am adding some false lashes. I'm using Ardell number 113 lashes, and Ardell lashes are available at most drugstores and you kind of can't go wrong with them. All other lashes are good. I really like the 113s and the Demi Wispies, and I tried to be fancy and use tweezers to seal in the inner corner, but then I was like, screw it, and I used my nubby little fingers. Then for the lips, I'm applying my Melt Cosmetics Bang Bang lipstick. I talked about these in my October favorites video. I love these lipsticks. I'm finding that orange is a great alternative to red lips. Sometimes I feel silly in red lipstick, like it's just too much on me, but I feel totally comfortable in this orange, and I would definitely recommend it if you guys feel the same way about red lipsticks. I added a little bit of light colored concealer just to the middle of my lips, and this is a cool trick if you want to make your lips appear bigger. I always wait to do my blush last after my lips because you kind of want to make sure that everything is balanced on the face. I actually mixed these two blushes. This one is from BH Cosmetics. This is actually like a matte pink eyeshadow, but I use it for a blush all the time. And I just added that to the apples of my cheeks. And then last but not least, I added a little bit of a shimmery highlight. This one is called Allure from Motives Cosmetics. It's alright. I'm actually still searching for a really good highlight, so if you guys have one, you know of one, feel free to write it in my comment section. So that was the whole tutorial. I hope you guys like this look, and I hope you learned something new. Make sure and hashtag me in any of your recreations on Instagram, hashtag Chrisspy. I love seeing your guys' looks. I look through there all the time. I'm going to be putting out tons of new tutorials. Definitely leave me your suggestions for what you guys want to see below. So give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And I will see you guys soon. Then for the lid, I'm using text message. Entire time! Okay, I guess we have to start over.